Okay, like you look like a more atas taste one. Butter from France. We leave milk from Australia. Mirror. You may eat butter and milk from France. That will cost more.
Good day. I'm Song Seng Lun. Some people call me Uncle Song. I am economic consultant with CGS International. Since I've already retired and now working part-time, is feeling the pulse of the economy, especially through what we see, what we do, what we eat. Today, we are going to meet three personalities to discuss about the issues of the day. This time, I think since you're still early in the part of the year, GST, cost of living, a little bit about the outlook and what it could be impacting cost of living and how families and hawkers even manage. So are you set? Let's go.
This is the first segment of Kopi with Uncle Song. I'm clearly the uncle here lah. Look at the younger one over here. What do? I'm basically has been an economist for the last 30 years trying to retire, but I think the moment you learn, you die lah. So we're just being busy. Today I have a couple of kaki with me. First of all, we have.
Hi, I'm Karen.
And.
Hi, I'm Billy.
Okay, today I think a couple of things that has been on the interest, and especially since it's the beginning of the year, GST. Who wants to pay more? Everybody of us want to be paid more, right?
Yeah.
Who wants to pay more? When GST was first introduced, it was in, I think, in 94.
Oh,
yeah.
that's the year I was born.
You can ask your mommy, you know. You paid, she at that time, or your parents paid 3% on it. So, not so bad. And
Okay.
if they're staying, were they staying in a HDB?
Yes,
Then they get rebate.
Oh.
Yeah, so depending on the size of your home, so clearly in Singapore at that point in time, I think over 90% of the population, 98% stay in HDB. So they know that if you stay in a lower, but smaller unit,
Yeah.
you'll be paying more for your food and services. You get more rebate back. In a lower income family, you still pay, so there's no exemption, but you are given back. Like today lah. I mean, you never check a bank account. You got,
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we got.
how many hundred you got?
But if I say that, everyone will know how much I'm
Maybe either 200 or 800 one. You know, 800. Yeah, it's pretty precise one, ma.
Right,
So,
yeah.
so this is where it comes in terms of why we have to pay more for GST and services, essentially because the economy is more mature, population aging, we have to spend more on infrastructure. You cannot just depend on one source of tax, like income tax. Yes, more companies are in Singapore to invest now, creating value-added, high-paying job, but yet we are also mindful that those in a lower income will also be paying more for GST. So hence the rebates, and hence like January they're getting a lot of vouchers and rebates and whatever.
Oh, yes, the CDC vouchers.
Yeah, all these things to offset like this January, my utility bills is like almost next to nothing because of all the rebates in place. But now I'm old folks but for young one like you, I don't know, ladies first, Karen, how does it impact you in terms of your daily life? When you first started working, how many years was that?
I think it was about 5 years ago.
So GST was still around 7%. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a little different because like depending on what industry you work in, you get paid a certain amount of salary, right? And so like I think coping with it, because right now I'm in the financial sector and
still well-paying job. Don't be shy.
Better than previous. But however, I think that as the GST rises, depending on where some people are at, the salary might not necessarily be adjusted accordingly.
Clearly, you're paying more because what you used to pay for at 7%, cost of living has gone up.
Exactly.
But lucky you lah, you stay at home and just help out
When
in
I
that
spend
way.
the money, I still feel painful. Like when I
who
tap
wants
my
to pay
credit
more?
card,
Yeah.
my heart hurts every time. I Teet. Oh my god, I can hear my money just
Then we say,
going.
where can I go to get more pay so that I can sustain the lifestyle?
Yeah, but speaking of, I think right now another concern that I have,
Yeah.
right, other than rising cost of living, is also jobs out there, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
availability is not a lot with the retrenchment, with
True.
It's very hard to find a job that suits something that you like, something that you're good at, and something that pays you to have. I think all this being aligned, right, in one job, it's just really difficult recently. People will just get what they can get, and even so, it's not easy to find a job.
Job security is an issue now, I guess.
Yeah. But for you, in terms of
For me,
GST,
yeah, because I'm a Malaysian coming to work in Singapore, so of course, I think one of it is because of rental. So I rent.
then you don't have any rebate now.
Yeah, I don't have any rebates and all the benefits, so that's even worse.
Hey,
right?
but you multiply
Yeah.
by
If-
everything
if
by
I- if I go back to
3.5
Malaysia,
there.
like,
Wow, your balik kampung time, you are the. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, so I
Yes.
think rental is one because I rent in a co-living space, so those have GST as well. So
Alright.
that one is additional cost. So that's true.
We know that you'll be paying more. For a lot of people, it's the psychology because rebates going into your monthly utility bill, although you don't pay more, you don't feel as shocked as money in hand, like you say. You know, if your disposable income is a bit lesser, even though you have rebates offset here and your utility bill is lower, not quite the same feeling. But I think in terms of just, if in your case you stay at home, in your case you rent. So in terms of renting, in terms of what you pay, utility definitely has come up lah.
So I agree with the fact that when you have the GST, so I think the benefit is that your income tax bracket will be lower. Like, so coming from Malaysia perspective, although we don't have GST, but the income tax, although the income tax bracket, you know, when you reach a certain level, you're actually paying more for the income tax. So I think that is a pro and cons to it.
Yeah, very important difference in terms of, I think which is why a lot of people don't realize, and that in Singapore, government running the country, fiscal sustainability is very important. Let's say roll back 50 years ago, so the reason of how direct taxation is just to ensure that you collect more and you spend within your means. No different like all of us. From a government standpoint, it is building on that saving so that you can build a reserve and then you spend. And one reason for all this tweaking of taxes really is to make sure that you have a sustainable flow from as many sources as possible, whether it is from selling COE or from property tax or from GST itself. Singapore is very fortunate in that they designed the system here very deliberately. I think the top 20% income, household income, pay around just over 50% of the tax base. I think the 10% pays around, I think, 35 or almost 35%. So those in the lower income actually get more back than paying. But while this is good, it's always the case like who wants to pay more.
Oh, that's true. But I do agree. I think on your point of reserves, I think that this comes through very clearly when we're dealing with COVID, right?
Yeah, lor.
And and the country was able to pay for vaccines, and everyone had a proper system, proper jabs and everything. And I think this really comes true in the time of need.
Yeah, very true, very true. I think very important also in terms of looking at the bigger picture here, coming back to address your issue of jobs and jobs. I think this is really the key in that for Singapore, although we always say, sometimes more challenging to find job, the economy, fortunately, most of the time, unless there's really recession, generate more job opportunity than can be filled. Anyone looking for a job, Singapore must come first, advertise, look, if cannot find, you open to the others. So this allow, I suppose, Singaporeans to continue to find jobs that pays well or suits them lah. But today, I think the key difference really is there's a lot more job options as well. I remember when I was studying, all my parents want me to do really graduate and then go to work. Oh, best work for the government and secure job, and then make sure I have monthly.
Oh, okay.
But now, and you don't no longer have to like, oh, be an accountant, a doctor.
No lah.
things
But at
like
the
that,
same
right?
time, yeah, nobody really comes up to us and say, oh, I wish that my daughter does marketing.
But you say I enjoy.
Yes, I do.
Ah.
It's very fun.
There is a lot of gig economy now, the
this-
internet and all that. So it allows a lot of people to venture into things that are more less conventional, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But again, this is where I suppose from a government policy standpoint, gig workers side in terms of being able to sustain, having a savings, etc., may be more challenging than somebody in the formal work sector where you have that contribution into a structured pension scheme that allows you to basically draw down when you're paid or beyond, like me. So I think this is the key things. But I think for today, it's still really about this whole issue of cost of living has gone up. We are paying more. Can the resident, can Singaporean here cope? How do we cope? And where do we see costs going? Say milk. Okay, like you look like a more atas taste one. Butter from France. But, we leave milk from Australia nearer. You may eat butter and milk from France. That will cost more because transportation goes into processed food that will go up. So all these things are all the challenges we have to watch out for.